officer tells you that, hey, you can't wear your poncho liner because the rest of the group's not wearing their poncho liner, is, everybody's got to be uniform, right, Tony?
Yep.
It's like, hey, if I don't have my beanie on, you don't have your beanie on. And a beanie is the cap that goes over your ears, keeps your head warm. For those of you that don't know,
Thank you.
so yeah. But yeah, I mean, there's definitely the moments where, like I said, you wonder why you decided to be a Marine in the first place, or I had those moments where, even like right now, where I have older kids that are thinking about joining a military and stuff like that, and I want to educate them, like, why did I choose the Marine Corps over the Air Force or the Space Force? And like I'm serious about the Space Force. I'm like it sounds like, if there's any Space Force people on here, I'm sure Tony and everybody here would like to know a little bit more about what the heck the Space Force does.
Yep.
Right? Am I right?
That's true.
And so I told my oldest daughter, Sophia, I said, hey, honestly, we just need to find somebody that's in the Space Force for you to talk to. There's no better way to learn about a branch of service than maybe taking a poll from several individuals. Don't take it from the for the Marine Corps side of things. Don't take it from the Lance Corporal that he did his 4 years, or she did her 4 years, and they got out, and all they have to do is say bad things about it. But take it from somebody that actually knows, like somebody that, whether they did 10 years, 20 years, 25 years, 30 years, what are the good things about what they did and the bad things that they did,
Let me tell you this. Let me tell you this. Very simple, guys. Listen, I could not wait to get out of the damn Marine Corps. Listen, I don't care however what you say. Listen, Anthony Glenn could not wait to get the hell out of the Marine Corps. Okay. Thank God. Now, my time in the Marine Corps was fun. It had ups and downs and travel. Thank you for coming up, brother. I really appreciate you showing all of the love while you were here. But, this is the reason why I'm asking it. And guys, let me do a quick room reset. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Winning Podcast, where we help you win. Today is Military Day. We're talking about the Dubai chocolate bar lady that went viral on over 5 million views. Okay, for the young lady that appears to be out of height and weight standards for the U.S. Army. Then essentially what she did is she had a big ass chocolate bar and she was eating it on live. Okay, and now she definitely got paid for doing that, but at what cost? Now the question that I have for the people that are on the panel right now: do you believe that is something that should be allowed in the U.S. military? What is your thoughts on that? Do you think that it's actually cyberbullying, or do you think that she reaps what she sows, because she did that knowing beyond a reasonable doubt that she appeared to be out of height and weight standard? What do you guys think? Travel, welcome to the panel. What do you think? What say you, brother?
What's up, bro, man? Honestly, I don't know anything about that, to be honest, but if she's out of the height and weight, then yeah, I would probably say that she probably has something coming for her, honestly.
Yeah. And then did you serve in the military? Are you a veteran?
No, I'm not. I'm just here to support, you know what I'm saying? Give you a little.
But one thing that I definitely will say, guys, listen, let me tell you, man. I love that, man. So my brother right here just pulled up. He showed some love on TikTok. Sent a galaxy and a bunch of other gifts, man. Travel, that means more to me than me than you know. So I really appreciate you for coming up. And guys, we're not just gonna be talking about the young lady, okay? But we wanted to get some veterans in the space to talk about this and what y'all's opinion on it, okay? And then we're gonna go over now what we're gonna be doing on every single week. We're gonna start doing rooms like this and talking about current events. And I know that some policies just changed in regard to the beards, okay? And then I wanna start off with Shane. Shane, tell me a little bit more of. Were they picking on you when you were in the military, when you were having issues with what's it called, Ficolitis barbae? Is that how you say it?
100% on my head top every day, religiously. Didn't miss a month. I'm talking about, hey, listen, you know what's crazy? I was just thinking about that the other day. You know, I'm glad you brought that up. I think about it quite often. I used to get sent to working parties, bro, because I had a beard, bro. I don't know why that never registered in my head that they were sending me to working parties because I had a beard. But dude, I didn't do my job for 9 months because I had a beard. Like when I tell you I'm the most handiest handyman you'll ever meet, like I can do anything with my hands, bro. I can build anything.
Well, that's crazy, guy. That's crazy because, you know, and I'll be honest, man. Listen, I was a part of that. Okay, I'm not going to sit up here and say that Mr. Particular. We're talking about this young lady right here that was eating a Dubai chocolate bar. And do you believe that if she's justified to do that in uniform? She was actually eating a big chocolate bar in military uniform on TikTok and went viral. So, and a lot of people are commenting negatively on it. And there's some people that's saying, there's mixed, people are saying mixed things, right? So I just wanted to know what your opinion was. You can come up to the stage. And then also we're going to end with opportunity for you guys to sign up for a free VA loan masterclass that we're doing this Saturday. But I wanted to talk about this topic because I was a part of the problem, Shane. I'm going to be honest with you. Okay? I'm not going to sit up here and sugarcoat it like I wasn't. When I was in the military, I was shaving my face. Okay? And if I shaved up, okay, I would get razor bumps, right? So I would shave down and I would do a really good skincare treatment. And then I'd have to take a needle and pluck the hair out of my face and pull it with a tweezer. Okay, and it was very, very painful. And I had to deal with that for 20 years with being in the military, right? So I kind of have mixed feelings in regard to remedial PT recommended. Real one, come up. A Real One Consulting, come on up. I want to know. Okay, so I was a part of that problem, and Ian was my my company clerk, and I was a monster at the company office, right? But at the end of the day, I took care of people. You want to talk about that, Ian? Us being in the same company, and you when I was the active first sergeant for 1st Radio Battalion and the company gunnery sergeant, and what that looked like from your perspective.
Yeah, so it was kind of a dynamic time for everybody. Like I was personally going through my own BS, and Tony was there to kind of point me in the right direction about right things to focus on, the right way to kind of be perceived. Because, like, let's face it, though, you're taught to notice things that are outside of the standard. Right, there's a standard set, and you're taught to understand and look for the things that are out of it. That's why they make you clean your room all the time, so when you can see when something's wrong, right? So when inherently you get somebody who is drastically out of standards, you obviously kind of go pretty hard in the reasoning why that's being happening, right? But there's a lot of things that went wrong to lead up to this video, right? I mean, there's probably. If she probably passed her, her boot camp at a certain, within regulations, right? So I don't know whatever her regulations were at the time. That's a pretty, fight and weight, right? For when you come out of boot camp. So obviously, right, there is several layers of leadership here that completely let this woman down to get to this point. So, and then in addition to that, that's where it comes into the leadership piece that Tony was kind of referencing when we were at the time that we worked with together, is that, on the outside, you have to enforce the standard. And then on the inside too, you need to understand and teach people within your own ranks of the reason why the standards are there and how to effectively communicate what you need to do to them in order to make sure that they become the purveyors or the leaders of that standard. So that's kind of where like Tony fit into a really neat place with the whole environment too, is because like he took care of us. He was like looking out and making sure that we didn't fall on the traps that were let out in front of us. But at the same time, when it came out to being finding people that were jacked up, I mean, this dude was running out. He was like climbing through the windows to go and hassle people when he got a chance to see somebody. So it's kind of this duality that you have to play as a leader in these environments, but at the same time, like I was saying, to look at this situation directly, there is a lot of people failed this woman to get her to this point right now. Yes,
I would totally agree, guys. And guess what, man? We have just broke 3,000 people, 3,000 taps on the screen. So right now, take your little booger fingers and tap that screen 20 times each finger. And then I see some new panelists up on the stage. I see Real. I see Mr. Particular. And then I see one of my brothers down here in the listening lounge, Creative Soul down there. Shout out to Creative. That's my brother from other panels. And I would love for you to come up and give you guys opinion. But I definitely want to know in the chat, guys, because I'm live on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and LinkedIn. Okay. Do you believe that this woman right here should have been on live with her physical appearance like this? Put a 1 in the chat if it's a yes. Put a 2 in the chat if it's a no. And I want to go to Real, and I want to know what your opinion is, brother. What do you think? And did you serve in the military?
What's going on? Yes, I did serve 10 years in the Army. I'm a 173rd baby. So,
Okay.
so that was my thing. So I say yes and I say no because obviously individuality, she could do whatever she wants to. If she's in her car, whatever she's doing, she could post whatever she wants to. But her leadership is failing her. Whoever her leadership is failing her. Obviously, the overweight standards, we don't know her medical condition or whatever the case may be, but still the standard is the standard. To me, she shouldn't have done it. If I was her leadership, I would have told her, yo, that's not a good look for you, whatever the case may be. But just like what the last individual was talking about as well, while I was in, especially in the 173rd, the leadership was the biggest problem. Why? Because we have standards and yet we have senior leaders and officers bending and breaking those standards. So a lot of my things were, obviously hands in the pocket was a no-no. But you had the battalion XO walking around with his hands in his pocket. So my soldiers would be like, oh, if the battalion XO could do it, so can I. So who's going to go check him? And me being the staff sergeant that I was, I walked up to this fucking major and I told him, hey, XO, you know, this is not looking good. The soldiers are watching you. And his response was, fuck off. So at that point, who am I to tell a major, hey, you know, you're supposed to be setting the standard or whatever the case may be. But, I mean, I have to do what my rank could afford. You know what I'm saying?
That's a really good point, guys. And then listen, we have an empty box for any panelists that want to come up and participate. Please raise your hand. And then, guys, listen, check this out. We do a lot of good rooms on military stuff, like investment stuff for and then all types of disability things, how to get your credit up and stuff like that, and grants, forgiveness, and all of that stuff. So make sure you guys follow myself, follow Ian Jensen, that's my co-host. And guys, and Daniel Driscoll's one of our partners. I'm a real estate broker by trade, and we have a free VA loan masterclass that we're doing this Saturday. So if you guys want information on that, I'm going to put that number in the chat so you guys could get in that space and then learn how to buy multifamily with the VA home loan benefit. But ultimately, guys, I want to do good rooms with military people. Okay, I served in the Marine Corps from 1996 to 2016. I was a Marine Corps drill instructor. I have several combat deployments to Iraq, Afghanistan, and destinations unknown. I was a Marine Corps drill instructor, meaning that I trained the Marines to become Marines, the world's finest fighting force. No point intended, Army, you know what I'm saying? Okay, and then also, I think ultimately I've served with all branches of service. And when I was in Afghanistan, 10th Mountain was squared away, man. Those guys were locked and cocked. They were squared away when I was at that base. But I also seen some of the little standards like attention to detail stuff with other branches of service get away, especially weight and height with weight and height standards for the U.S. Navy. All right, we ain't gonna talk about the U.S. Navy, man. They be walking around looking crazy, right? But in retrospect, one thing that I've heard about one thing that I've seen with the U.S. Navy is that their chiefs mess, hands down, the chief's mess runs the Navy. If you guys don't know about that, put a 2 in the chat if you've ever heard of what the chief mess is. The chief mess is basically like it's like a staff NCOs, and it's a rite of passage. And then basically they make decisions on discipline and all types of other stuff. Where the Marine Corps, once you become an NCO, which is an E4, you get leadership. But the staff NCOs, E6 and above, the Navy got to figure it out, man. Right? So now, Ian will tell you, my brother right here at the top with the red winning hat on, he would tell you that he seen me field strip some officers, man. I don't care, man. If an officer is out of standards, I will have my crosshairs on them. And they hated my guts because I would go toe to toe. Once they gave me that rocker as a staff non-commissioned officer, it was a wrap because I had my crosshairs on warrant officers, majors. If you were fat or out of standards, guess what? I'm coming for you. Right, Ian? Is that not how it went down? Like, yeah. So
It's a trip.
Yeah. So ultimately, I want to talk about it, and I see Mr. Particular, and thank you for your contribution, Real, and you can jump in at any time. Mr. Particular, did you serve in the military? What do you think about this lady in the Dubai chocolate bar?
So, thank you for having me up. Thank you for everybody's service on the panel. Yes, I'm currently serving. Right at December will be 15 years. I'm a Sergeant First Class. I'm an E7 right now. Yeah, so I agree with what Real said, but real quick, Daniel, I don't know if you want to turn your camera off, bro. I don't want you to get flagged for being mobile.
Oh yeah. So they'll shut down your live are you sitting still or are you moving? If you're moving, okay. If you turn there you go.
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't want to interrupt, but he was gonna get flagged. So, but no, I agree with what Real Right said. Real Right had a good point. I mean, she has the right to eat on camera. She does, but I agree with, I guess, what Anthony's mindset was when you were in the Marine Corps. If you're late to formation, I see you walking up to formation. Now you're rubbing it in my face that you're late. If you're late to formation, sorry, you need to be running the formation. You need to show me that you identify that you're late and you're not okay with being late. A soldier who is, let's just call it what it is, we're all service members on here, someone who's grotesquely overweight, and then you have the audacity to get on social media and eat chocolate. It's as if you're rubbing it in our face. And so I'm the type of NCO. I'm about to call you by your rank. But Anthony, I feel like me and you were similar NCOs because the NCO that I am, if I see something, sorry, I just can't not say something. I'm sorry, I don't have that skill to see something jacked up and just walk past my face, because as a non-commissioned officer, as a senior non-commissioned officer, it's my job to make those corrections to officers and dadgum NCOs alike. For this soldier to get on social media eating a chocolate bar, and I don't know what the size of this chocolate bar was.
It's a big man. That thing is like this big.
Don't make it worse, and don't make it worse, bro.
Like
don't make it worse. For her to get on there, that's basically her rubbing it in her leadership's face that she doesn't care about the standards. The Navy, although, to another point that you made, although the Navy does have laxed weight requirements, when you make E7 in the Navy, you are oh my God, you are a freaking beast.
Yep.
You get a different uniform when you make E7 in the Navy. Just think about that. You get a totally different uniform. You get a totally different dining facility. When E7 in the Navy walks into a room, bro, it's like you would think for us it's like a first sergeant walking in the room or something, like E8 walking in the room. But the Navy, their standards and traditions as far as discipline, they stretch. I dare say this competitive with the Marine Corps. They have some deep standards and disciplines in the Navy, and I don't know if anybody's ever just sat back and just researched the Navy's traditions and things like that. But I'm a recruiter, so I work next door to the Navy. I never would have thought that the Navy would be chewing out their sailors the way they do next door to the Navy.
Bro.
Man, I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna drop it, bro. This recruiter put in leave while he was on leave and didn't let his chief select know that he put in leave. We heard it through the walls. You would have thought he was standing on top of the table. But not to get too sidetracked off. Yeah, she's absolutely wrong for doing that, man. If a soldier is, like I said, my point I always make is if you're late to formation and you see us already formed up, you need to be running the formation. You need to be jumping out of your car while it's moving to get in formation. Don't show up walking to my formation and you also late. I take that as a blatant form of disrespect.
And Mr. Particular, where are you currently stationed at right now?
I'm a recruiter in the Dallas Fort Worth Recruiting Battalion, so I'm in Dallas, Texas.
I have, how big is your unit, your recruiting section?
My office is 9 recruiters deep.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yep.
So I need to talk to you, man, because we're going to be we're traveling out that way, man, and I like to pull up and possibly do some stuff with you. I'll get with you. Send me your information because I like to.
Yeah, I see my number.
Okay, and guys, listen, check this out. If you're on the live right now, we're going to be doing things different. I know there's a lot of spaces, but we like doing a control space when we're doing these lives. Please tap the screen, invite some service members in, and guess what, man? I just want to play this real quick. Hold on just a second. Hold on, let me see here. All right, hold on real quick. I wanted to play this. Guess what, y'all? America is back. The U.S. military is back. Hey, we dropping BOMBs. Okay, we out here. We're getting rid of all of the goofy stuff that's going on in the military, man. Patriotism is up, man. You know, people are re-enlisting. We're getting back to standards, man. It's coming back, man. I don't know about y'all, man, but I'm excited about it. I'm gonna tell y'all, when I saw that, that thing go over Iran, man, I said, man, finally somebody said, hey, watch this. Kaboom. Yep. Okay. Now, most people don't like that, but I just want to say, man, listen, America is back, man. And I hope you guys feel the same way. I kind of feel like we're getting back to, the U.S. military being respected nationally. And then, a lot of people disagree with, the service members being down on the border and all types of other stuff. But guess what? F around and find out.
That's right.
F around and find out, man. Okay.
From my foxhole as a recruiter, we saw the jobs pop up in the system over a year ago. And the jobs went heavily to like air defense artillery. Mm-hmm. And, the ground artillery jobs, the grunt artillery jobs. Infantry is always going to be there. We start seeing a bunch of air defense artillery jobs. Like, bro, what's going on? We start seeing less HR jobs, but not as many. Less cook jobs, or not as many. Just in a bunch of freaking 14 series. So we see that as, what are we preparing for? Yeah. And thank God. And here's another thing, for anybody who's not in the military on here. Service members who've been deployed love deployments. and I'm just, and that's just a general stuff. I'm not saying every single one of them, but a lot of them are like, yo, bro, when are we going back again? So stuff like this, service members ain't mad. It's these folks that act like they know service members that are mad. When we see stuff like that happening, we beating our chest. We stand up on the tables because we know it's about to be showtime.
That's 100%, man. And let me do a quick room reset. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Winning Podcast, guys. I'm Anthony Glenn. I'm your host. I'm a real estate broker out of sunny Southern California by way of Atlanta. Okay, we do some really cool spaces. We talk about life insurance policies, trust, LLCs, S Corps, C Corps, how to hire your kids. I'm a real estate broker by trade. Okay, I was in the Marine Corps. I used my VA loan to purchase properties across the globe, and it made me a millionaire since 2008. If you guys get an opportunity to put my name in Google, you will see what I've been doing for this long of a time. And guys, we're going to be having military days to where we're talking about some creative things like the HUD VASH program, HUDVASH program, that allows you to purchase property, register it with the government, and then they placed challenged veterans in those properties, and they give over 100% of the rental income. So we talk about that type of stuff in my live. We also talk about how to, if you have property, some of the benefits that you get from the big, beautiful bill that was just passed. And then we also talk about how to navigate through, any type of disability stuff that you guys want to know. I got 3 degrees from the U.S. Marines, okay? And all of it was paid for by the military. And I just got accepted to USC, and I will be starting in the fall for my doctorate degree, okay? And I got 2 master's degrees from the Marine Corps, okay? So ultimately, we're not just going back and forth and talking about trending topics. We post that. I'm being clear. I'm posting the trending topic to get more veterans together so we can talk trash about who has the best uniform. You know what I'm saying? And then also, guys could talk. We could talk about each other, but guess what? Nobody can come in here and talk about the U.S. military. Army, Navy, Air Force, Marine, Coast Guard, Space Force. It doesn't matter. We all serve. We all protect each other. We bag on each other, but everybody forms has a spot to fill, and everybody has a responsible thing, whether you are beans, bullets, and band-aids to, you know, a supply person, logistician. It does not matter. We respect everybody in this space. We're not going to talk to you because you talk about you because you're not a fighting person. Ultimately, it doesn't matter because we're all signed up to support and defend our country against all enemies, foreign and domestic. And I see, I want to get, I want to know, like, if you were, here's a question that I'm going to propose to the stage, okay? If you was this young lady's leadership, okay? Let's just say the staff non-commissioned officer, and you came in and somebody showed you this video. What would be your first course of action? I want to go to Real first. We'll go to the young Marine next, and Daniel, okay? What would you guys do?
The first thing I would do is counsel the soldier. I would have to look at their counseling packet for at least the last 3 counselings, and I would have to counsel her based off of where she's currently at. Like I said, we could speculate on what actually is going on with her, but let's say she's overweight. Guarantee she's in the remedial PT program. She's got to be. There's no way around that. So if that's the case, you blatantly disrespecting the leadership because you're supposed to be on a strict diet. You're supposed to be doing PT, all of these things. And if you're blatantly doing that, that's a disrespect to all leadership, and you would automatically get a counseling off of that.
I would agree with that. Okay, what say you, Mr. Particular?
So from my vantage point, I would, if this was brought to me by NCO, say, hey, Sergeant, we got this soldier on social media. It'll definitely be a good, strong verbal counseling. Now, if she was previously counseled against eating these things, then it'll go to a different level. It'll definitely escalate. But let's play devil's advocate, right? Don't you laugh, Anthony. If you laugh, I'm gonna give you a thumbs down. What if she got a really big head? Maybe she's not big. All right, Anthony, I told you don't laugh. See, that's what I'm saying. See, that's your problem. That's your problem, Anthony.
Wait, dog.
That's your problem, man. See, that's your problem now.
Hey, look, I was the recruit that was getting in trouble for laughing in boot camp, but maybe she.
I'm being serious. Think about it. What if she, bro? I'm serious. I'm not joking. I'm being serious. Forget y'all. Whatever. Y'all ain't serious. Whatever.
Hey, son, you know you do height and weight. Don't be playing these little games, Rich.
So listen to what I'm saying. Okay, have y'all ever seen a soldier with a really big head
and a skinny body?
And a smaller body? Think about it. Maybe
yes,
she has.
See the difference between head ratio and neck ratio. They're not the same.
Whatever. Anyway, I counsel the soldier. The soldier gets some kind of verbal counsel. I pass it out her NC on some kind of method to go with it. But I'm gonna say this. And you've been out since 2016. I don't know when the real writers got out or whatever.
I got it in 2017.
Okay, so I'm just gonna call it what it is. It's hard to make corrections on female soldiers.
But why?
It's hard. I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you. This is why. A female soldier can take anything that a male soldier says to her and flip it into something totally different. I'm telling you this from experience. I've seen it happen. And I've been on the other end of it. When you correct a female soldier, it can't just be because you made a mistake. It's because, well, Sergeant Real Wright he liked me actually. Now since I don't like him, now he's getting on me about everything. Or now they're picking on me because I'm a female.
You got to let me weigh in on this.
Hold on, I got you.
If you let me finish. It's because I'm a female soldier and they treat me different because I'm in a unit. They don't say that to the other fat soldiers in the unit. But what they don't see is that you've already put hands, elbows, and toes on Private Jones, but you're giving her a stern talking to. So it's very hard. And I say this, I'm landing so just me can say what she has to say. I'm a sergeant first class. I haven't always been one. I'm not afraid of any sergeant major. I'm not afraid of the biggest general. My fear are female soldiers. That's my fear. I can go I can go up to and tactfully say, Sergeant Major, you're wrong for this. I'm afraid to address a female soldier because it can ruin your career just from one interaction. It can ruin your entire career.
Yeah, I treated it like the whole basic training situation. Hey, go get a battle buddy. If I had to talk to a female soldier, go get a battle buddy. Because there's no way that me and you are just gonna have a one-on-one conversation. It's just what it is.
That's an interesting take. And Jesse, I'm going to come to you next. Let me do a quick room reset. Guys, ladies and gentlemen, if you guys are enjoying the conversation, get some more people in here, guys. We're going to be having topics like this. And guess what? Next week, we're going to be talking about the beards. The beards, okay? We're going to be talking about the beards and the new rules of the beards and the baby hairs that they just changed for the U.S. Navy. Okay, I know it's a lot of people, man. It's a lot. It's a lot of ladies that's gonna be showing up to work looking like a dirty tennis ball. But hey, man, I'm sorry. Check it out. Standards are standards. Ultimately, when you sign on the dotted line, okay, you know, because, and I think this is what I think, man. I think this. Listen, Anthony Glenn II. Look at my face, guys. Y'all see me? I had no problem field stripping a female Marine sailor. If you're out of control, guess what? My command, and I noticed things changed when I was starting to get out. But when it was a wild, wild west, man, we could blast female Marines, male Marine. It didn't matter, man. You was getting field stripped, okay? And guess what? You would get held to account, held to a standard. But I did see some things that, you know, oh, he's picking on me, right? But ultimately, if you have the right documentation, and then I never had conversations with females without another female present. And I think that's how you play the game. If you're gonna do something with someone, and especially if it's the opposite sex, have the same sex when you're counseling that young soldier or sailor or U.S. Marine. And I think that is how I used to run business. And I know, Mr. Particular, you got something to say, but just me, what do you think? What say you?
Well, I'm about to scream because remember, I was in the Marine Corps before most of you were born, from 86 to 90. So most of you were not even born yet. Okay. So you have to understand, it saddens me that you can't treat Marines or soldiers like the Marines or soldiers need to be treated, right? First of all, yes, are there instances of abuse? I absolutely. Now, I have 2 girls who are currently on the active duty in the Marine Corps, and I always tell them, always make sure that you have another female present. That way, nothing happens. And I tell the boys the same thing. Always make sure you have another female present. But I think it's wrong that you have to do that, because I served at a time when they would take you out and put you in a pit. They would take you to the pit and put you in the pit and make your ass. They didn't care for male or female. That's what happened, right? But I'm also one of the few females who I do not believe that females belong in combat roles. And there's a reason for that.
Oh, man, hold on. I am not touching that one because I got a viral YouTube right now that a young lady was the first 03 in the U.S. Marines. I had the opportunity to interview her, and she basically said the exact same thing that you said. She said that you're going to be SA'd if you are a female in combat. And it's sad that it's like that. But and guess what? You know what the crazy part?
Let me give you my reasoning, and then you can tell me about her. Because here's the reason. Men, I'm sorry, guys. Men have to be men. You guys have got to be guys. You need to go out and do whatever you need to do. A woman throws off the cohesion of the unit. You have to have unit cohesion when you have ground grunt groups. Those men need to be able to be men and do whatever men do, because we don't think alike. We don't act alike. We can't carry the same weight that you carry. Women do not belong in ground troops. I'm sorry. They just don't. And I will stand by that, and I will die on that hill.
Oh man, that is really, really good. Cynthia Garcia, I see you down in the chat.
I agree.
Can y'all? I want some more people on the panel. I'm gonna swap the panel out, guys. Guys, do me a favor. If you guys are Army, Air Force, Navy, Marine, Coast Guard, if y'all support the military, put a 1 in the chat, guys. I'm asking you guys to put a 1 in the chat. If you support the military or if you served in the military, put a 1 in the chat. Now, the reason why I'm asking you guys to do that is because it's going to curate the TikTok algorithm to get more people into this space. And right now, I want to get more. If you come on the panel, what I like to do is when you talk, and I'll share something what I've learned on TikTok. Right now, I'm almost at 14,000 followers on TikTok. The more that you engage, when you come on stage, you get followers when people say things. So don't be afraid to hit that hand raising button and get in a panel so we can hear your thoughts on this. And then we're going to be having thought-provoking conversations like this. And guess what? The reason why we're doing this. If you have a small business, I'm going to help you promote it. If you have questions about real estate, I'm going to help you. If you have questions about business structure, I'm going to help you. But the only way we're going to know that veterans are here is that we got to get more veterans into space. Okay. Ian, can you tell the people your quick story briefly? Ian Jensen, I want y'all to hear his story, and then we're going to move on to
which part of it?
Just everything in regard to where you started at and where you're at now.
Okay, everybody. So, hey, great to meet you. Ian Jensen, real estate investor down here in SoCal. I've been here with Tony for the last, 6 years at the business, and then we worked together in the Marine Corps together. He was the company guns while I was Lance Corporal, get the troublemaker, right? So, long story short, served my time in the Marine Corps, and then followed my wife around to the rest of the country while she was in grad school. And came back here to SoCal and went to work for the businesses here and help everybody else come together and kind of build out what we did right here, so that way we could help out the most vets possible. My personal story is I went from doing basically minimum wage work to being able to now have about 9 investment opportunities here, like between 4 different properties. I got 9 doors. So, and that's all done in like less than 4 years. So, and it's all done through everything that we teach here on this channel. So make sure that if you're not part of our group yet, you become one, and then share with anybody else who you're trying to grow with, or you want to see get a little bit of extra juice out of life, because we got a lot to offer and we can 100% help almost everybody. So thank you all for being here. And then I'm going to keep chiming in here and dodging these bullets that we're talking about.
Okay, and here's the first military nugget that we're going to give away. Okay, all right. The first military nugget that we're going to give away is the military. This is something that all of you guys, I want y'all to put EEM in the chat. EEM, Echo Mike. Okay, and I'm going to explain exactly what that is and how you guys could use it. Okay. Yeah, I know about my background. Okay, I'm very familiar with that.
You know my background. You don't know my background, do you?
Oh yeah, sister, I'm gonna get to you. We're gonna get to you. We want you to hang out because you was in the Marine Corps when it was segregated, right? So we want to talk. Sister, I'm gonna tease you a little bit while you're up here. But guys, this is a fun military room. We're not just gonna have conversations about controversial topics and not lead to a teaching moment, but we're also going to share some things with you guys that you probably don't know. Okay, EEM stands for energy efficient mortgage. Okay, that's something that the VA, and before you go get solar on your property that you already own, look into the EEM. The VA loan allows you to utilize energy efficient mortgages to upgrade your property, and guess what? It is a tax write-off. Okay, that is that is something that that's what EEM stands for. And then another one that we're going to tell you is that, did you know that the VA loan will allow you to pay off your personal credit with the seller's income? Now, let me explain this real quick for the people that are listening.
Yeah, I need that one.
Okay, so Ian, so check this out. Can you explain how a seller, if you're buying a property, how veterans can, let's just say you're buying a house from me, how can I pay off your credit card as a buyer?
Okay, so as a buyer, any good agent that's worth their salt can kind of look around an area and find out what sort of leverage opportunities you have to be able to negotiate on a deal, right? You look around, the house that's been on the market 90 days, the house that's got a little bit here and there that's not the best house or the worst house in the best neighborhood kind of a deal. All right, so the idea is to negotiate a sufficient enough credit from the seller to make sure that we have an abundance of funds available to cover the closing costs that the seller has or the buyer has. And then what we do is we try to either maybe even get some extra value from the appraisal, or structure the deal in a certain way to make sure that we are using the credits that we get from the seller to not only cover the buyer's closing costs, but then to also and we negotiate this in the contract as well, because the way you phrase your negotiation of the credits in the contract is what gives you the ability to be able to leverage these funds elsewhere in the deal. So if they have student loans, or if they have credit card debt, or car loans, back taxes, all these different things, if we negotiate more and more credit out of the deal than it covers the closing costs, we can utilize that to structure the buyer's debt to income ratio to make sure that they're optimized and then they get debt paid down.
Now let me explain this in now Ian's technical. Let me break this down shotgun style and just give a little bit of context for that. So that basically means that a seller can pay off your credit cards. They can pay off. Now your debt to utilization will be different. And this is the type of stuff that I'm gonna give you guys. Put a 2 in the chat if you guys want to know what you're supposed to put in the contract. There's specific words that you got to put in the contract in order to do this. We're gonna give you the specific words on what you have to have in your contract in order to do this. That you cannot do this unless you have this in your contract. Number 1 is concessions. So everybody put concessions in the chat. Number 2 is reoccurring and non-recurring allowables and non-allowables. Reoccurring and non-reoccurring allowables and non-allowables. Reoccurring and non-recurring allowables and non-allowables. / closing costs. Those things, when you put that in there, let's just say that you get credit. Let's just say Ian found this property, and then we're going to get back to the topic, guys. Ian, he writes an offer on my property. I'm selling that property to him. He writes reoccurring, non-recurring, allowables, and non-allowable credit towards closing costs. Okay, and then basically when he does that and he puts that verbiage in there, that means that if there's money left over, and let's just say he had a $5,000 credit card, I could pay off that credit card for him. That means that his debt to utilization is going to be better and he could possibly get a better interest rate, all because he negotiated a deal with me to pay off his credit. Now put a 3 in the chat if that was good information, guys, because guess what? The more y'all tap and the more y'all share, we're going to be kicking hot topics like this. Okay, and I'm going to give you guys a number here in a minute to where you guys can register for our free VA loan masterclass. But let me get back to the conversation. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the winning show. Ace of Spades, thank you for coming to the panel. I want to give a special shout out to PR, Just Me, Daniel, Ace, and Mr. Particulars for coming on the panel. We really appreciate you guys. I'm going to ask you guys a favor. Can y'all hit the sharing arrow down at the bottom and give us 10 more shares to your veterans? If you support veterans and you want them to get this information, okay, we're trying to have the biggest lives on TikTok for veterans about creative topics and then new changes with the military. We're going to have controversial things that we're going to be talking about, but it's always going to be a learning experience. So far, we covered how to pay off debt. We covered the EEM, energy efficient mortgage. And as we progress through this, we're going to be giving some other things. We're going to be talking about the HUD-VASH program to where you can buy an investment property and then lease it. And then we're also going to be giving some government grants away, talking about some government grants that you guys can register for and how to get those for military people. Okay. All right. So now we're at 52. Can I get 8 more shares, please? Ace, welcome to the panel. Ace, are you there?
Yes, sir. I'm here. I'm listening. I'm at the gym, just so you know, but I'm here.
Okay, trying to get them gains on. Okay, can you let us know who you are and what you do, sister?
Hi, everyone. I am a veteran. I'm an OEF veteran. I was in the Navy. I'm from Chicago. I live in California. I'm Camp Pendleton. I am new with the Marine Corps League. So I've been working with Marines for a little bit. I am a contractor, interpreter, translator, a few other things, and hopefully an immigration attorney here soon.
Oh, fantastic, man. This girl got 900 jobs. Ace, what happened to you? I thought you was gonna come see us.
I have to come to you.
Man, what's up with
Don't think I forgot.
What's up with these Navy folks saying they're gonna do something and not do it?
They
I have to come see you. Anyways, life happens. Don't do that. Like
nah, I'm calling you out, man. Like I'm calling you out. Why haven't you came to see me?
I haven't had time lately. Sorry. It's been hectic. It's been one thing after another.
Why you always lying?
Oh my God!
Stop fucking lying.
Ace, pull up.
Wait, will you?
Pull up.
Were you? Okay. I know. I heard what you told me the other day, so don't think I don't have it in the back of my mind.
Okay, we're gonna be in the office tomorrow. What are you doing tomorrow? Just come by, have lunch with us.
At what time?
What time can you come?
You let me know what time. I'm gonna work my schedule.
11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time.
Okay, I can do that.
Okay, all right. So Ian, let's meet up with her because I need your help. That's why I keep trying to link up with you. Okay,
Yes, sir.
I got a big business opportunity to where you can make some money. Okay.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay.
So, Anthony, are you interested in what I do for a living? Because you might want to know. It might be of interest to you.
Yes, let us
So
know.
when I in the Marine Corps, I was a comptroller. And then when I got out, I went to work for a federal agency. And when I left, I was the assistant manager for administration and personnel. And then I came back to Oklahoma and went to work for the tribes. And I'm a specialist in business diversification, specializing in 8A and service disabled veteran owned businesses.
Well, I mean, okay, so why are you just now coming in here and letting us know that? We need to link up with you too. Okay,
You just didn't ask.
So guys,
so I'm a comptroller by profession, and I do compliance to make sure that service disabled veterans and 8As are in compliance with all the federal laws and everything that they need to be doing to make sure that you have the correct accounting systems, to make sure that you have all of the necessary requirements for your cybersecurity, all the things that matter. And then typically what I do is I since I'm a tribal member, I have the ability to go to tribal 8As and liaison you with the tribe so that you can diversify assets and help the tribe diversify assets with service disabled veteran owned business.
I love it. So here's what I'm going to do. Okay, so you see Ian right there? Oh, just me. Can you get a pen real quick? I'm going to give you a number. I want to get you on my calendar because I want to get you on our YouTube channel to interview you.
I'll message you my phone number and you can text me on that number. I'll message it to you.
Okay, all right. So
I'll message you my number.
Okay, and this is the reason why I'm bringing everybody together, guys, because ultimately the military is going
and actually, hold on one second. You may want my sibling, who's a retired Master Guns 0369, who's the director of business development for a major tribe.
Let's link up. And just me, do you know what I do?
I know that you do real estate, yes, but I would think that diversification of assets would be something you'd be very interested in, especially tribal assets, because people don't realize that when they have a gaming compact, they're required to spend 40% of their income diversifying into other businesses.
And that's what I mean.
Even the California tribes.
Yeah. So, and that's the reason why we need to connect, guys. So put a 2 in the chat. This is the reason why, guys, listen, you never know who you're going to meet. Listen, we've done over almost 1.5 billion in real estate acquisition, guys. So we help people nationally invest in real estate. We teach y'all how to do it. We teach you how to underwrite properties. We also teach you how to build your company from the ground up, from which one should I pick? LLC, S Corp, C Corp. We teach how to set up your trust. We talk about how to schedule your business to get business lines of credit. We talk to you guys how to do creative financing. So if there's something that you're interested in, I'm going to give you guys a number. Put a 2 in the chat if you guys are ready for that number. We have a free VA loan masterclass this weekend, and we're going to be talking about how a veteran and non-veteran can purchase multifamily as a partnership. That's going to be this Saturday at 9:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. I'm about to give you guys a number. Put a 1 in the chat if you guys, actually, I already put a 2 in the chat. Here's the number, 760-573-2731. You're going to text LEARN, LEARN, to register. LEARN, 760-573-2731. Okay, text LEARN and you guys could get a free registration for that VA Loan Masterclass. And then I'll be excited to see you guys. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we're talking about the young lady in the chat. Make sure you guys are tapping the screen. Down at the bottom, you'll see an arrow pointing right. Hit that right arrow. Can y'all get us up to 75? My goal is 150 shares and 10,000 likes today. That is my goal for today. And as long as you guys are tapping and clapping, we're going to keep teaching. We're going to talk about multifamily next, but this lady right here, okay, let me give the context of what we're talking about for the people that are on Instagram and Facebook. Right now, we got 187 people that are here across all social media platforms, okay? This young lady was sitting in a car, And basically what she was doing is she was eating a chocolate bar, and she appears to be at a height and weight standard for the U.S. Army. And right now what we're talking about is this actually cyberbullying, or do you believe that she reaps what she sows? She deserves to get what she deserves to get what she got, because there's a lot of people that are talking about this. And Mr. Particular said that she had a big face.
Bruh.
But we want to know what your thought is, okay? Soldier,
I said maybe she had a big face. See how you do, man?
Soldier, what do you think? Welcome to the panel. What do you think about the topic? Soldier, are you there? Soldiering? Okay.
So, yeah, I'm here. You know, as a service member myself, I mean, you know, when I saw the video, I mean, I didn't really pay too much attention to it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, look, soldiers from every background has many different issues, right? Whether it is the height and weight, even, you know, folks that are pretty good in shape, they got a lot of muscle, right? A lot of them still can't pass that taping, right? And that is why the Army decided to change the taping measurements for both male and female because of that, right? Because there is some folks that come from different parts of the world that it doesn't matter how the Army does it, the measurements just wouldn't match, right? Listen, you know, people come online, they come on TikTok, and you know, they want to be part of the cool club, I guess you can say, right? But at the end of the day, you know, to bully somebody and say all these crazy comments, you know, just because you're behind the screen, it makes no sense to me, right? I mean, I wouldn't do it, and I would hope that, you know, somebody wouldn't do it to me either. You know what I'm saying? I mean, at the end of the day, we're all just coming in here trying to learn something. Whatever people decide to post, that is on their own time, their own, and it is their own business. That's what I gotta say about that.
Now, here's what I'm going to say. Now, put a 1 in the chat if you agree with him. Put a 2 in the chat if you disagree. I'm curious to know. Okay, put a 1 in the chat if you agree with him. Put a 2 in the chat if you disagree with him. Okay, now I have a question. Ace, what do you think? Do you think that, do you agree with him or do you disagree with him?
I'm not going to say that I disagree with him or not. Like, the way that I see it, okay, let's talk the facts first, right? She's in uniform. There is a regulation standard. We already know that when someone is in uniform, they're pretty much endorsing the service that they're in. That's right off the bat. Let's go straight to the facts first.
Come on, Marine.
TikTok.
Oh, no, I'm
TikTok.
sorry. Navy, right?
I mean, don't dismiss the Marine Corps, because we might be heading in that direction.
No,
But
go ahead.
But yeah, so there's that, right? That's the straight fact right there. She put herself out there in a social media platform that you have all people from all walks of life, military and non-military. It's a transnational app, meaning that it can hit other platforms in other countries. Those are the facts. Mm-hmm. There's another fact. The standards in the military are set in stone, and they've been that way for a very long time, right? Those are 3 facts right there. You put that into the mix. She's obviously, you know, she has a weight issue. Why she has a weight issue, I don't know. I can't, from a personal perspective, I would not see myself attacking her to the extreme that these people did. But that's a reality. We're on a social platform that is open to absolutely everyone. So her being attacked, it's gonna happen. So I'm looking at it from like a non-biased perspective in regards to facts. I can't, you know, we can sit here and make content and in regards to, you know, supporting her or coming to her defense, but she did put herself out there. And I think a lot of people put themselves out there, you know, cognitively being aware that there's risks, especially if you're a service member.
That's
all I gotta say.
And I see, and listen, check this out. I see leaders make leaders, Hey, you know what? I'm gonna rotate. Just me. I'm gonna rotate you off the panel, and I'm gonna bring some other people. Just me. Please make sure you send me the your information so I can get you up here. Okay, you can raise.
Yeah, but I have something to say about this.
Sure.
Because
before I drop you down,
I don't.
one second,
I don't think that.
one second, because let me go to Mr. Particular, and then I'm gonna come right back to you, sister, because he had his hand raised, and I'm gonna come right back to you. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I agree to an extent, but then I don't. And this goes into the generation of soldiers now. We're afraid to make those on the spot corrections because what we call on the spot corrections, soldiers are now calling bullying, or soldiers are now calling, it's mistreating people or whatever. Bottom line up front, the soldier's overweight. Bottom line, whether she was on social media eating a candy bar, whether she's on social media eating a salad with no toppings on it, the service member is overweight. The service member knows that she's overweight, and I, as a leader, take that as a form of disrespect if you're on social media doing something contrary to what you should be doing. She does not meet height and weight standards. I don't care what tape measurement you use. She's not meeting height weight requirements. And for any NCO or any leader who says, well, that's her business and that's not for us to talk about, that goes into the NCO creed. There's so many lines in the NCO creed that goes against something wrong, and they don't make a correction because they don't want to offend somebody. Well, guess what? That soldier's not going to grow up and they're going to turn into an NCO who doesn't make on the spot corrections either. They're going to grow up and become that NCO who sees something and says, man, it's not that serious. Now, here stateside, that doesn't make a difference. If a service member's socks aren't green or black, no one's gonna be hurt behind that. But when you take that small thing and now you get down range and it's those small things that you needed to be done and they don't happen, or you overlook it because I don't want to say anything because I want the soldiers to like me. I don't want the soldiers to be mad at me. You run into a lot bigger issues. So with this service member, her weight issue, whatever the weight issue is, I don't even care. The service member should have been, instead of being on TikTok eating a chocolate bar, and from Anthony's definition, a king size chocolate bar, instead of her doing that, she should have been somewhere, if not receiving counseling on how to get within height weight standards. She should have been doing something actively getting height weight standards.
Oh man, it's about to get hot up in here, man. Because, hey, just me. I know you got a lot to say, but Mr. Particular, I'm gonna reserve my comments because I want Just Me to go. Then I'm gonna rotate her out, and then I'm gonna rotate a couple of other people out on the panel so we can get some other people in here. And Young Marine, I'm gonna pull you back up here in a minute, but I want to get some other speakers on the panel. I got you, so I want you to come back up, okay? So now I got an empty box. If you guys want to get in the panel, hit that plus sign, get in the box. I'm at 63 still, guys. Come on, man. Bruh. Come on, get the shares up. Right now, I'm trying to get to 100 shares. Please hit that. Share this with some of your friends, guys. We're going to be bringing some people up here to speak. And then Sierra, I'm going to bring you up here in a minute. Okay. After Just Me, I'll bring you up on the panel. But Just Me, what do you got to say? What do you think?
Well, I left the Marine Corps with a very severe eating disorder that almost did me in. I actually had to spend almost 16 months inpatient. And then over the years, I've had to go back into treatment. Now, understand that I was never overweight. I'm 5'4" and weighed 115 pounds, but I served at a time when it was segregated and it was very different. Mm-hmm. And do you realize that there are approximately 5% of active duty, approximately 17% of active duty females currently suffer from an eating disorder. And we don't screen, nor do we check for them. And the most common and prevalent, is the prevalence is in bulimia. They binge eat and then they purge, and it gets out of control. Mine almost took my life. I have a series of comorbidities from it. The problem is that they're having issues, and we don't teach our NCOs or our officers or our medical personnel how to actually check and understand, because it becomes a body dysmorphia. There's a whole series of things. And actually 5% of male veterans and active duty personnel are currently in that spectrum. So there's an issue that we're not addressing, but I believe that, yes, there's a healthy weight and there's a way to check it. And when people start feeling overwhelmed, they need to get the help that they need. And unfortunately, the VA does not recognize eating disorders as it's a zero connection.
Wow.
And my family had to pay for my treatment, and over the years since 1994, they've spent just over $750,000 for my treatment, and it's not available to be treated by the VA. So there is an issue, and we do need to address that. And they may have a binge eating disorder. Now, everybody's built different. I'm of the opinion that if you're a small, short statured female and you have a large boobs or whatever, that they need to make adjustments based on your weight. But it happens, and it's a fact that people just don't want to face. I don't know what this young lady did, but she may have a more serious issue going on that nobody's talking about. And the reality of it is we need to do a better job of training our NCOs, training our senior staff NCOs, and our officers and our medical personnel about eating disorders and the devastation that they can actually cause.
Wow, that's something that I just, you know what? I'm gonna tell you something that I just learned, can we put a 3 in the chat for saying, thank you for giving that information, because I haven't heard anything about that. That's my first time, even in 20 years of my Marine Corps time, my Marine tenure, I never heard about that. So it's good. And this is the reason why, because usually it's a male heavy conversations, and we don't ever get an opportunity to listen to the ladies that are dealing with certain things. One thing that I noticed in the military or in the Marine Corps is that I was seeing a trend of females having hip problems.
Yes. Because we have a different hip structure than you do physically, and our body's just made differently. And so, yes, I mean, there are a variety. That's another reason they did a study on female veterans that when they put them in the field, they didn't perform like men, and it caused them to move to, they didn't have their menstrual cycle. They had a whole bunch of different issues. They had hip dysplasia. They had a whole variety of things. We are physically different. I don't care what anybody tells you. We are physically different. We are mentally different. And that's one of the biggest reasons that I think that women shouldn't be in the combat role. I'm just saying.
Oh, and guys, guess what? I got a special announcement to make, guys. Check this out. We have reached 295 people across all social media platforms. I want to give a special shout out to Sierra, Leaders, Just Me, Soldier, Ace, everybody in the listening lounge for sharing this out, guys. We have these conversations specifically for you. So thank you guys so much for getting us up to this. And we just crossed the 10,000 likes. Here's what I'm going to ask you guys to do. We are going to have panels like this, talking about conversations like this, structured rooms to where we're not talking about grunts versus pogues or nothing like that, but actually hearing the voices of conversations and changes that are in the military with people that are active duty, past and present, and military spouses. And then also we're going to have teaching moments like we just had, real hard conversations, real topics, but then also growing topics for people. And then this is an opportunity for people that are in some type of business that they would like to highlight. So down at the bottom, can y'all get me to 100 shares? We need 30 more people to share this with your people. You'll see that arrow pointing right. As you can see, we run a good structured room. So we really appreciate you for doing that. So keep the shares up. And Just Me, thank you for sharing it. I'm gonna tuck you down in the listening lounge, and I'm gonna bring you back up if you have some questions. Okay.
I need to go because I have my news show at 7:00. So I need to get ready for the nightly news. But thank you for having me, Anthony. And I will message you. So thank you so much. And it's nice to meet everybody on the panel. And thank you for your time.
Thank you, sister, and Semper Fi.
Semper Fi, thank you so much.
Man, I'm telling you, man. See, somebody who served back then in the 80s, guys, do you understand how it was different back then? Like the
mindset,
the SH, right, that was going on during that time, and being in a predominantly male type of environment, and having to deal with all of that stuff. I can just imagine, because Marines are nasty, man. I ain't gonna lie, man. Bruh. I'm gonna tell you right now, man. We would have females check into our unit, and we would have people hovering around the S1 trying to figure out where they're going. It was crazy. And that was happening when I was in, right? So we got an empty space, guys. So jump in the panel, and guess what, guys? We just reached 100 shares, man. We just reached 100 shares, man. I'm feeling excited. I feel like, what do you guys think? Do y'all think this is going to be a good, a pretty good space where we can come in and talk? How do you guys think about the pace?
I think it's a good pace. I think it is.
Yeah, absolutely.
I agree.
Fantastic.
I don't like the top 10, Tony, but that was from what I heard from getting on this live just now. This is a very good conversation. I wanna. I guess my question is, what is the topic? Because it sounds like, is this a military weight standards, height standards topic? Because
let me tell you what the topic is. Okay, so if you see my backdraft, guys, and for those of you who can't see, you will see this is the Dubai chocolate bar lady, and basically she went super viral in weeks because she was eating a big ass chocolate bar on live, and she appears to be out of height and weight standards. And right now, people, there's mixed views of it. Some people say it's cyberbullying, and some people say that she reaps what she sows. And then right now we're having a conversation, and people are saying that she's targeted because she's of ethnic background. But then ultimately we're unpacking, okay, that video, because she took the video down. But the nature of the topic is, what's people's thought process on it, and then if you were a leader, how would you handle that situation if it was your soldier or sailor?
I'll say this, as a Navy vet, during my time in the military, the biggest thing they said before social media started taking off and like content creators started taking off, like, I can't really see, but it looked like she's in uniform. That's no number one. Mm-hmm. Because we already know as soon as they see you in uniform, they see the uniform. They don't see you. And they see what you represent. So whatever you're doing while you're in uniform, it is what it is. You can't fight that battle. You can't, you can go explain that DRB or captain's mast or something like that, but it's too late at that time. As far as like height and weight standards, me being black, I always, and Tony, you know how I'm built. I always was overweight, but I don't have that body fat. I was always within the body fat standards, but
Sierra like 9 feet tall, y'all.
Like,
came into the office, I was like this.
Built like a statue. Like, I built like a straight statue. Like, for real. So it's like, it's not, and I'm not talking about like a chiseled statue and always overweight, but you just kind of know better. And I feel like what social media is doing now, what people are doing with social media, you could have did that content without being in uniform. Because, that's the first thing they're going to talk to you about. Whenever you're doing these trainings, these GMTs, they drill it in your head. So to feel like you're being cyberbullied and you're sitting there in a uniform, that's so easy to identify who you are, and that's not what represents, well, it's not supposed to represent what service members are doing with tax money. Mm-hmm. And so I think there's a deeper understanding to it because I've been on both sides, and now like seeing the investment into these sailors, soldiers, airmen, you really gotta respect it when you see how much money is really going into you. And I think it stops with people at their paycheck not understanding the representation that's behind it. Like I said, this is something I could talk about all day. Do I think she should have got
unknown caller
at the base rate? I don't like seeing people in uniform making videos.
Me neither.
That's just because that's what we were taught. Like, you're in uniform, dancing, making TikTok dances and videos, and I understand you want to be funny, but can you do it without your uniform on?
Yep, I feel the same way now.
And then you got people that do it in uniform, mask and stuff like that. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Now, and this is
so this is what I gotta say about that, right? So I agree with Sierra, right? In a way, right?
Because hold on, we gotta like I'm gonna come right to you next. I wanna get leaders on it because he hasn't spoken yet.
Gotcha.
Leaders make leaders. Welcome to the panel. What do you say about the topic?
What's going on, Tony? Nice seeing you, brother.
What's up, man? Good to see you, brother.
Much, man. You know, you're slaying. I see you. Yeah, you know. So Jamil Cruz, 12-year Marine Corps veteran. You know, I got as a staff sergeant, and so I got like both sides of the views here. You know, I heard the lady that shit. We're talking about the body dysmorphia and all that. But I think that when we sign the contract, I think people forget that you are now the property of the United States government, right? And that's why we got standards and all those things. And so, I'll tell you this because, I was overweight at one point in the service. I was on weight recs, but, my weight wasn't there. I had a BCP because I needed to drop 3 pounds, although my percentage was like on point, right? Mm-hmm. And I got passed over for a meritorious promotion for those 3 pounds because, you got to be a well-rounded Marine, right? And yeah, they could have said, oh, you know what, you meet the other standard, but I learned a lesson from there. I said, if there's a doubt, if there's a doubt about, you being within regs or within standards, then, then there's something you gotta work about. That's a personal decision you gotta do. The problem, I think, comes from the top, because the reason why I gained weight, and not to blame this guy, I know it was a personal choice too, but I had a senior staff, a gunny actually. I was his platoon sergeant at the time, an E5, a sergeant, and we will always go out on lunchtime, and this dude will have like 2 burritos and had a freaking bowl of sour cream on his car. No kidding, man. Freaking Gunner Sergeant Johnson. If he comes and watch this, I don't care. He knows because I called him out on it. And so that was my example. Right now, now that I am out of the service and run a business, I appreciate so much the accountability of having the standard, because like some topics that we don't talk about way a lot in social media is the impact that having like an extra pounds carrying on your body when you're trying to run a business, the energy and the toll that it takes for you to be heavy. Man, that right there, for people that call themselves leaders and they want to go into business and they want to go be successful beyond the military, like that's something that we are instilled in the service that people underestimate. The fact that you got to stay in shape. I dropped the ball, for example, when I got out of the service, I went up 60 pounds and I had to look one day in the mirror and say, what the heck is wrong with you? You were like a meritorious, staff sergeant with all of these accolades, and nobody wanted you to get out of the service. You get out to run a business, and then you start thinking that the standard changes, the standard of leadership changes because now you're a civilian. Hell no. And my business took a toll because I was heavy. People around me that I was attracting into, for example, my business were heavy people, lazy people, and all of that. And we had to make a radical change. And guess where I went back to? I went back to the Marine Corps standard. I went back to the Marine Corps regulation on what was my ideal height and weight. And to this day, Tony, that's what I go by. Even my guys, like the conversations that we have with our guys and gals, but mostly with the guys, says, hey, look, this is the military standard for like your height, and your age. Like, stick to this. It's the impact of little things like that that will continue to carry on ages after the military. In the service, the problem comes down to when you have senior leadership that they disregard the standard or they try to go around the standard because they are the senior leaders.
Now leaders, I got to say this. I have to say this because this is something that I don't want people to miss. I want to back up a little bit and I want to highlight something. What is the first? Let me ask y'all a question and I want y'all to be honest. Put a 1 in the chat if I'm going to get an honest opinion from everybody on the panel and everybody in the listening lounge. I want to see if you guys are going to keep it real with me. Put a 1 in the chat if you're going to be completely honest. I'm going to ask y'all a serious question. What is the first word that comes to mind when you see an overweight person? Be honest.
Discipline.
Lack of discipline.
Mine is discipline. Yeah.
Discipline. Okay, we got discipline. Any other words? Fat. I mean, we keeping it real. Okay. I'm asking.
Keeping it 100.
Okay, keeping it 100. The first word that comes to mind to me, lazy.
Yep, don't care and lazy. That's right.
It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate, but I'm keeping it real, and I'm only saying this because I'm talking about reality. I'm talking about perception. I don't care how hard you work. You're going to have to work extra hard when you're going to have to work extra hard, especially in the military, when somebody's going to underestimate you by physical appearance. I'm telling you. And this translates into outside of the military also. When you're interviewing, the first thing that they see is what you look like in the reason why you interview with a suit on is because that is a direct representative of how you're going to present yourself in a business deal. I don't care what anybody tells you. I don't care. Now, there's some very, very hardworking people that have personal issues, but ultimately, I have to tell y'all this is true. And sometimes it's unfortunate that people get underestimated because of what they look like. But appearance is everything. That's something that you have the ability to change. So if I go into an interview, a person goes into an interview and they look messy in their suit, and a person comes in and they're clean cut and everything, that perception, that first impression is everything. Okay? So ultimately, you know, I'm just telling y'all, man, like when we have this conversation, we're going to have it uncomfortably, but hey, if you're in the military.
That's saying, right? How you do one thing is how you do everything. And, yeah, 100%.
And leaders, I'm going to say something that you pointed out also, guys. The reason why military people wear uniform and everything's the same is because we want to quickly identify when something is out of place. That's the first thing that they do in boot camp. They remove all of the personal stuff. That way, when you get ready to go, you eliminate all of the bad habits and you build it from the foundation. And the foundation is shaving your head, shaving your face, hygiene, physical appearance, what this person looks like in uniform. And I feel like that the longer that people stay in the military, they get further and further away from that. And I feel like TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, Farmers Only, Christian Mingles, all of these social media apps is pulling away at the very fabric that makes our military appear to be great. Because this right here is not setting a positive example. I don't care. Keeping it real. It's not. That does not present the show that person is physically fit to go defend our country, eating a chocolate bar on live.
Yep. Brother, I'll tell you this, you know, social media plus the military has been the biggest, like, and most disrespectful era of military service members in the last decade. Because right now, you know, see, first and foremost, things like this will get handled internally in the service. You had a person that was, you know, out of regs. You, the senior or the NCO, will take the person out and get them in shape. Yes or yes, because, you know, it would lower the standard. If it was a medical condition, like the other lady was saying, we will send you to meds, and medical will say you got some kind of condition, and then we will, you know, accept you out, and that's it. But the world that we're living in right now, unfortunately, exposes the truth of the problem in a lot of service members, which is that they're looking to get validated by people outside of their peers, which will hold them to a higher standard. So they go to social media, they go out and they post, they think, oh, I'm a military person, I went to boot camp, I rate something, I'm gonna go become social media famous, try to make money out of social media, and then, you know, they kind of make that their thing. They want to go viral, make that one more video, and they're like, well, the more controversial I can become, the more viral I can go. And they forget the core values that were instilled when we joined in the service, which is, you know, like the God, country, court, right? The military comes first. We got to make sure that we stay to a standard, that we are accountable to our, you know, like core values, that we're accountable to our vows and our oaths that we took in. And now it's just like, well, you know what, screw that, I could just go become social media famous, and if I get AdSep, I'll go become, you know, a Bella Porch, you know, and make a song, and, you know, I'm to the bees and become a millionaire. And they're living in this crazy land that they think, hey, you know, I can just get away with anything because somebody's gonna go validate me in the social media.
And that's the part that I feel like needs to get that needs to change. And thank you for your contribution, Leader Soldier. You wanted to say something?
Yeah, absolutely, and I absolutely agree 100% with what he just said. Right, that's what I was getting at earlier. Right, so that validation from thousands, millions of people out there, right? That's what people's looking for. They're looking for that, or they're cloud chasing, right? To see if you know, somehow, some way they can become something or somebody online as well, right? Just like the 40-year specialist or whatever the hell his name is, right? Nobody attacked him, I'm assuming, for his weight, but they attacked him for the way he acted, by, you know, saying that, you know, he deserved respect, this and that, right? even though he's just a specialist. But he is, at the end of the day, he is a man. I don't see a problem with him requesting for or asking for the respect that somebody else would want also. But the way he went about it that was the problem, right? And then he posted it online, which was another problem.
For
and
what,
I feel
though?
like
For what, soldier? Let me ask y'all. Why are people doing that? Why do you have to? This is what I don't understand. Listen, when I was in the Marine Corps, you put your company business out there. You're going goodbye. You're not going to be in the Marine Corps anymore.
Exactly, and that's what I'm saying, right?
Gone.
Exactly, and that's what I'm saying. So because of social media today, right? People believe and think that is okay to do, right? Just like she did, right? She thought, well, I'm gonna post something online, cloud chasing, trying to get that, TikTok famous, and because of that, now she's being attacked, right? Just like he did. And I understand, I agree with you, right? I believe that anybody that is in uniform, if you're not talking about mentorship, you shouldn't be online talking about a damn thing, right? But I see a lot of young soldiers online, on live, right, talking about nonsense, right? And nowadays they got this other trend, and I can't even remember the name of it, right? But even captains are on there doing that, right? Exactly, right? So you got captains on there, you got a lot of different types of soldiers, you got Navy personnel, right, doing all that stuff, right? And for what?
Can I add something?
Like trying to get those, and that's really it.
And soldier, thank you.
I think the deeper.
Hold on, Sierra, real quick.
Go ahead.
And soldier, thank you guys. And guys, let me do a quick room reset. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Winning Podcast, guys. Thank you for the 300. We have 300 people right now on all social media platforms. Shout out to TikTok for sharing the lives, guys. Down at the bottom, I'll see 112. Can we get 10 more shares, guys, and keep the conversation going and get me to 12,000 likes? We're going to be having conversations like this, controversial conversations, and then also we're going to have teaching moments. I want to give a special shout out to all of the people that are sharing. Sharing is caring. So take those fingers, tap the screen 20 times each finger, please. Okay, we just passed the 12,000, and down at the bottom with the arrow pointing right, share this with some of your military friends, because we're going to be highlighting military businesses, and then also giving grants to military spouses and giving scholarships to military kids too. Okay, if you're in Oceanside, we have a backpack drive that we're giving out 500 backpacks to the local community with my office, hosted by our nonprofit Veteran Homeowners Club. And then also we'll be giving scholarships away through my nonprofit as well. So if you're interested in that, make sure you follow myself, Ian, Sierra. Those are my 3 partners that are on stage right now. Okay, and then also make sure you follow any of the people that are in the panel, guys, because guess what? It doesn't hurt you guys to come check out some of the stuff that they're doing. So if you have a small business that you want to highlight and I can verify it, or if you need some advice about business, we have a free VA loan masterclass this Saturday at 9:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. It is virtual. So if you want to learn about how to master the VA loan to buy multifamily, or learning about the VA construction loan, or doing a joint VA loan with a non-veteran, put a 2 in the chat right now. Okay? Put a 2 in the chat right now. I'm going to give you guys a phone number to where you guys could text. Okay, and then also we talk about how to set up a trust as a veteran. Also, this is something that the military do not talk about. So if you got a small business and you're trying to scale your small business, we teach about that. We've done over $1 billion in real estate acquisition. Okay, so and then also we've taught thousands of people on how to start a small business and get business lines of credit as a veteran. So here's the number: 760-573-2731. Again, that number is 760-573-2731. You're going to text LEARN to that number, LEARN, to get registered for the class. We got limited seats. Okay, I think we got 380 people signed up for that class. That's this Saturday. So if you guys want to be a part of that class, to just sit in there and listen to our VA Loan Masterclass, text LEARN to that number, 760-573-2731. Right now, I see 16 people had text that number today. And it's free, guys. So come pull up, watch me teach, along with Ian and Bruno. And then also we'll be having other topics that we'll be talking about. We don't just talk about, I got to do this in order to get y'all's attention, right? We'll also be talking about some things like the HUD-VASH program, and then also how to get through disability claims and all types of other stuff and secrets that we know. Now, I have a question, Mr. Particular. I know you wanted to ask something, but go ahead and add that, and I'm gonna ask my question.
Okay, appreciate it. I kind of had a question that was going to lead to another conversation. I won't do that, but I'm just going to make a point to the 40-year-old specialist. Yes, he was grotesquely overweight as well, but that was overshadowed by his lack of tact in his approach on social media. So that's a problem that a lot of young soldiers, and I struggle with myself as a young soldier, was I was saying the right thing, but I was saying it the wrong way, and especially to the wrong people. So I'm going to say it the clean way, the way my mentor told me. He said, man, when I was a private, when I was a specialist, or E4, he said, I didn't have that much butt to be chewed on. He said, but now I got a little bit more rank on my chest. I got a lot of butt they can chew on now. Basically, what I'm saying, do what your rank can handle. How much butt chewing can you take? And in the Army, as an E4 below, you say the wrong thing to the wrong leader, and that can be lack of a reduction in rank and maybe get sent back to hometown USA. So his tact was all wrong. If he had an issue that great, he should have took it up his chain of command to somebody else versus getting on social media talking about how old he is and what he's going. You gonna respect me and you gonna do blah blah blah. I was cursed. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
And nobody cares about that. I'm gonna tell you what I would have done. I would have tell you what I would have done with that private. He would have got official counseling. Okay,
that's right.
He would have got corrected, and I would have admin accepted him if he didn't conform, because he obviously he also has a follower complex, because just because you're 40 years old, hey, guess what? You're a private. You got to earn your rite of passage. If there's a corporal or a sergeant that's younger than you, you're gonna follow orders from that young man. It doesn't matter how old you are. You in the U.S. Army. If he's been in before you, he has more tenure to you in the military. And I think this is like that guy right there, I would have field stripped that dude, because you should be setting the example as a 40-year-old man to be able to have some type of intellectual capital, not to bring your personal problems on a live. How are these people going to help you? So he went out there, I'm a man and you can't talk to me like that. And that should be something that he should have talked to his NCO, his corporal, his sergeant, his staff sergeant, his sergeant first class. It should have went up the chain. And if it couldn't be handled, then he should have request masked. Like all of that other stuff, like I don't understand why people are taking their grievances to TikTok. And I also disagree with people arguing about beards and influencing people to keep their beards on a live. Like, bro, you fight your own battles. Don't influence other people to join with you. That is a battle that you fight alone. Now, that's my opinion. I know people are saying, oh my God, like, look, man, I feel like these things, your situation and somebody else's situation is not going to be the same. Now, do I understand that African-American people are adversely affected by razor bumps? 100%. But I also see people dyeing their beards, getting them lined up, growing them past the regulations and all that other stuff. And the Army's tired of it. They're like, look, man, cut, right? When does it get too far? And I feel like that's the problem, that people are abusing the system. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I agree. I'm going to land my plane with exactly what you said is what I was going to say next about his age. I was blessed to make the rank I am at 29 years old. So a lot of the people who were older than me in age, I surpassed them in rank. And they felt as if, well, who is this 29-year-old E7 think he talking to? I'm 39 years old. Yeah, but you're a staff sergeant. Mm-hmm. And it's rules in this game. And if the age thing gets in the way a lot of times with service members, because they feel like, well, I'm 40 years old, I shouldn't have to listen to this 22-year-old drill sergeant. Negative. You're going to listen to that drill sergeant. Okay. Yeah, you're going to listen to him. He don't care about how old you are. Yeah, it's not that drill sergeant's fault or that first sergeant's fault that you joined the Army late because you just had a bright idea to get your life in order. It's your fault. You decided to join late, so now you have to play the game like the 18, 19, 20-year-olds have to play. You have to start at the bottom. I have to drop though, bro. I love this platform you have. I love this energy you have on here. And I have one question for leaders. Leaders, are you there?
Yes.
Hit me up.
Leaders, are you Puerto Rican?
That's right. Boricua de pura cepa.
Bro, I love you, bro. So listen, I'm a reservist, right? So y'all can say what you got to say about reservists. I'm a reservist, and I deploy with a unit from Puerto Rico. I love them people, man. They are the nicest. They are so welcoming. I don't know how they did. We were in the desert. I'm dropping. I promise. We did a 5K. We were out there running in the desert. At the end of five, y'all know what Grand Theft Auto is, like the game.
Yeah.
These mugs was running with nothing. Listen to me. Nothing in their hands. Nothing in their hands. When they crossed the finish line, it was like they was spawning a weapon or something. These mugs had instruments and stuff. They playing songs. Like, where'd y'all get these instruments from? Y'all were just running. They just pulled about their pocket, I guess. Drums and stuff. Man, I had a good time with those mugs from Puerto Rico. I'll definitely be back with you, Anthony. I'm gonna inbox you my cell so we can text about everything in Dallas, and then I have some questions about the EEM. EEM.
Yep.
EEM. If I already have a property, can I still use that?
Yes, you can.
Okay, we'll talk. I'll send you my number right now before I forget.
Okay. All right, brother.
All right. Nice meeting all y'all.
Hey guys, and welcome to the panel, man. Ladies and gentlemen, Ace, did you had the role, or you had something you wanted to say?
No, I'm here. I'm just listening.
Okay. If you're in the listening lounge, guys, this is the Winning Podcast, guys. If you're enjoying the show, put a 1 in the chat. I want to say one thing that I love about the veteran community is the support. So I want to say thank you guys for coming in and supporting the live. You could have been anywhere listening to some goofy stuff, but you know, I kind of like hanging out with vets because I am one. We get to talk a little bit more controversial things, and people don't get all butthurt because of how we communicate. So I appreciate you guys for pulling up to the panel and rocking out with us. You know, and again, we have a VA Loan Masterclass that's going to be taking place this Saturday. If you guys want to register for that, the number again is 760-573-2731. Text the word LEARN to that number to register for the free VA Loan Masterclass. And we're going to be doing other topics like this, and then we'll do teaching moments. Myself, Ian, Bruno, and Sierra, we come on here and we talk about business. Okay, so if there's something that you guys want to learn about business, we do these rooms every Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, 9:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So make sure you hit that notification bell to get on our calendar. I do not sell crypto. Y'all hear that? Anthony Glenn does not sell crypto. Okay. So if you got somebody hitting you in your back channel or something like that, or saying, hey, boo, that is not me. That's a fake profile on TikTok. I already got like 3 of them. This is the OG one, the original one with the 14,000 followers, okay? So I appreciate you guys. If you get a DM from me, just make sure you double check to make sure it's me. And if you're talking to me, say, hey, well, can you FaceTime me? I want to see your face. And if I can't FaceTime you, it ain't me, okay? It's the Kirkland brand, Anthony Glenn. Okay.
We were gonna do the Glencoin 2025.
Yeah, bro. Leaders, where are you at now?
Here in San Diego, California, man. Still here, slaying. I've been all over the place. Got a few offices out of state: Texas, Florida, New Jersey, North Carolina. We opened in Florida, New York, 3 months ago. Colorado. We've been opening a few locations, man. But you know, my wife doesn't want to leave California, so I just gotta keep making more money so she stays happy here.
Indeed, man. I wanna talk to. I wanna see how we can network together, man. We need to get on. Maybe get you on our show and let us know what you're doing, because ultimately the overall goal, the vision of what we're doing right now is we want to help the 21 million veteran families invest in businesses and real estate, and then utilize all of the benefits that they have. So we will have conversations like this to have a little fun, to let our hair down. But ultimately our overall goal is to curate a space to where we own what we defend. Okay? There's no reason why you're a veteran and you don't own property. There's no reason why you're not a veteran and you don't know about the business grants that are out there. There's no reason why you can't get a government contract. There's no reason why you can't buy multifamily. So what we do, there's no reason why you can't have a trust or life insurance policy or hire your kids, right? So we want to share information and get to know what you do. Okay, we have a pretty robust panel to where we talk to different people. So I just want to let you guys know that I'm immensely thankful for you guys pulling up. Soldier, did you have something that you wanted to add to the conversation?
No, listen, I appreciate your time, man. I think what you're doing is a great thing, and so I definitely appreciate everybody that is on here, you know, that is coming to learn something. And again, I appreciate you, man. Thank you.
Okay, all right, thank you. So I think that we're going to go ahead and keep it short today. And I want to leave out with some closing remarks. I want to start with the ladies. I want to go to Ace and then Sierra, and then we'll go with the gentlemen. We'll go with the closing remarks by Soldier, Ian, and leaders. What's your closing remarks? Anything that you want to talk about or share, or a topic that you would like for us to share? Or what's your closing remarks in regard to what you learned today or the today's topic?
Thank you. First of all, I want to say thank you for having me up here on your live, and I'll see you tomorrow. But I'm glad that you brought up this topic in a more insightful setting, right? Because I've seen this topic being discussed in a very derogatory way. And it's nice to see people that have a broader scope and understanding about what the element in the military is. I really appreciate that, because I'm like, is it just me? Like for a minute, I'm like, I'm making, some rebuttals and content in regards to some of the things that I'm seeing. And I'm like, is it just me, or has something happened with our military in regards to social media and our, leaders not enforcing what's already there? So I appreciate this, and I hope people are listening. I hope that young service members are listening, and they take heed into what's being said, because we need to fix what's happening.
I 100% agree. That's very, very good, Ian, man. Ian sneezing that beard off, man.
God bless you. Bless you.
Thank you, Ace, for that contribution. Sister Sierra, what do you think? What's your closing remarks?
My closing remarks are very basic. Again, my biggest thing is just like seeing people do things in uniform, regardless of what it is. I'm not saying stop it completely, but it should be stopped. Like, due to adversaries having access to, it's not like these people are doing this stuff in the private setting. Adversaries are having access, they only care about eating. Look at somebody in a uniform eating. Oh, they care about, being yelled at, or whatever they get on the internet with in uniform, or they're dancing in uniform. They're supposed to be at work. They're supposed to be standing and watch. So it's a little bit to me, it's too exposing. And I mean, at the end of the day, if you're going to do these things at work, why are you recording it and putting it on the internet? So I really think that, a lot of these commands really need to start looking into some of these social media policies. I mean, so social media for the military, back in the day was to be able to keep in contact with your family because you're not around. Not to be on there basically dancing, joking, entertaining people that don't know you. Like, you're really there to do a job. You sign a contract, but it's just like, even on that time, you're doing other things in uniform, which is, to me, inappropriate. However, times are changing, but at the end of the day, like I said at the beginning, adversaries are still watching. You know what? Anybody can watch. And that's how people have allowed it to be. When you leave your social media open, that means anybody can look at it. So therefore, why would you get in uniform and eat however you want to eat? It looks like gluttony, and be overweight, and be dancing, and be complaining about work, and all of these things that make our military look just like it's in disarray. But that's all I have. I know I caught it at the end, but this was a really good discussion from what I did catch.
And guys, we're going to be talking about beards next, and then also we're going to be talking about, we didn't get a chance to go over the VA construction loan or the VA rehabilitation loan. So if you're joining us, we don't just talk about these topics. We have teaching moments. Next live, we're going to be talking. This is what we're going to be talking about. We're going to be talking about beards in the military. We're going to be talking about the Navy changes on the hair lash things that the ladies had, that they changed. And then also we're going to be talking about the VA construction loan and the VA rehabilitation loan and HUD VASH. Those are the topics. So make sure you hit that notification bell. And I have a special guest coming up. Jasmine, can you let the people know what you just completed today? Today's the last day?
Actually, no, we have one more day tomorrow. So I'm here at 10X with Grant Cardone, and we're finishing the business. We're into the real estate summit now. How to invest into multi-units. Taking a break.
Fantastic. And she's out there in Miami. She's part of our team. So make sure you guys give her a follow. She's out there in Miami with her husband. Okay. And he drank the Kool-Aid.
Arizona today. Arizona 22.
What's that? I can't. Jasmine, you're freezing. Okay, somebody screenshot Jasmine so she can see how she looks frozen. Her face is frozen. I'm gonna get her, man. But guys, listen. Ultimately, we will come to a theater near you. If you got service members that you want us to teach in your local area, okay, we'll come out and teach a VA loan masterclass to you guys. If you have a group of people, we will fly out to you. Now you're good now, Jasmine. You were frozen. I took a picture of it so I can tease you later, but you were frozen just now. Okay, so where's the hubby at? Where's he at? Bring him on so we can say hi to him too. Okay, you're on mute. She doesn't know how to work TikTok, y'all. Okay, so we cannot hear you. So now, leaders, what's your closing remarks? What you got?
Yeah, man, in regards to the topic, if there's young Marines watching, males and females, just remember, why you joined. When you joined to serve the country. And because you joined to serve the country, you got to keep the standard that you sign up for. So, don't forget that. Don't forget that our job in the military, especially senior enlisted and senior officers, is to, at least in the Marine Corps, make Marines, train Marines, and leave better civilians, on the way out. And so if we all go with that mindset, when you get out, you can go out and build something. I'm a huge supporter of your stuff, brother. I love seeing veterans succeed. We've been talking for years, in the business spectrum. So if you're a veteran, guys, and you're trying to do something, in the real estate world, make sure you hit up Anthony. He's the man. I know he's working that out. Definitely help him out. Love your content. Love what you got going on. Love your seminars. You got a badass office out there in Oceanside. I think you still are in Oceanside. So, beautiful office. Guys, leverage, and network. That's what we're here for, to help each other. Veteran community, much love, and see you in the next one, man.
Man, see, this is what I'm talking about, guys. Again, if you're coming in this panel, you're going to get some love, and make sure you follow the people that are on the panel, especially Ian, Leader, Sierra, Soldier, Ace, Jasmine, the people that come and show up. And I'm going to tell you guys, it's very, very important for us to, I know I've had the best experiences with doing business with people that served in the military, because they understand how important it is that they deliver what they say that they were going to deliver, right? So ultimately, we're going to start curating a space to where we have conversations like this, and we can highlight your small business. And then also we'll do diagnostic day. We'll do networking days as well, to where we'll do rapid fire networking, to where if you're a veteran or you have a small business, we'll give you a 2-minute pitch session, and then we'll grill you and tell you how sorry that you are, right? Okay, just so you can get better, because I think it's important to have a good pitch deck with your business, and you never know, you never know where their content will end up at. Jasmine, did you have something to say that you wanted to tell the people? Tell us about where you're at real quick. Go ahead.
Can you hear me now?
We can hear you, yes.
Yay. All right. Well, I'm at 10X with Grant Cardone. We're finishing up the real estate summit here in Arizona, Tempe. And just wanted to invite all the ladies, if we have anybody on here, we're going to be at 10X Ladies in Miami with Elena Cardone. And yeah, same, follow our Facebook page. I'll put it on here, but we're trying to network with as many women as we can, or military and first responders, spouses. So whatever you guys got, we're here for you. Nice meeting you. I got to get back to the conference now.
Okay, and make sure you plug up with Sierra, because she definitely is good at content as well. She could talk from entrepreneur side, Navy veteran side, and real estate side as well. But she's out in Texas, so we got to get her on the show too.
Sounds good. All right, bye guys.
Okay, see you later. Okay, and then Ian, closing remarks, my brother. No, Soldier, closing remarks.
Hey, again, look, thank you. Regarding the topic, I think it is a great way to bring things to light. I think, that since we haven't been in a conflict for, a couple years now, soldiers believe or think that, discipline is no longer a thing, right? That they shouldn't continue to stay in shape and do the right thing. But the way things are looking right now, the environment that we're in right now, at any point, we all can be called back, right? So I asked the young soldiers out there, young Marines or whatever branch they are, is to stay alert, right? In order for you to stay alive. I can't drag you out of the damn combat zone if you're 500 pounds, right? When I'm only 100 and some. So please do your job right, do it well, but at the same time stay in shape, be disciplined. And hey, listen, again, thank you for bringing it up, and I will see you guys on the next one.
Outstanding, soldier, brother. And then we got Ian Jensen. Closing remarks, brother.
Hey everybody, thanks for taking part of the conversation today. We covered a lot of spicy little topics, so it's always a good time to stir the pot, get everybody's opinion, and also at the same time learn a little bit more about everybody else's experience. So keep coming in. We love having rooms like this. We do them all the time, or at least we sometimes we'll even jump off of them. But my big takeaway from this one is you know what you got yourself into. You know what the expectations are. Just like somebody said before, I resonated a lot with what Sierra's point Sierra made. But ultimately speaking too here, like, yeah, you can't control like if you have a health issue or anything like that restricts you from either being more active, but you can have control over what you decide to eat and the behavior that you put out there for the world to see also. So I do agree with what the Sierra said about, this is a portal for, information gathering at all phases. So we really should be careful about what we put out there as, our service members are being active and doing the things that they do to, prepare for war. So, battle readiness. That's basically what it all comes down to. And I don't feel that this one was particularly ready to jump into the fight. So there we go. Everybody, thank you all for coming in here.
Outstanding. And then guys, this is what I'm going to end with. Okay. All right. Guys, check this out, man. Discipline and professionalism. Appearance reflects discipline. A sharp fit and clean cut soldier, sailor, or Marine demonstrates respect for the uniform, the mission, and the military values. First impressions matter, whether in formation and public events or overseeing soldiers, airmen. U.S. military professional appearance builds trust, respect with civilians, allies, and other military branches. Combat readiness. Physical appearance often reflects physical fitness. Being within height and weight standards helps you ensure a soldier, sailor, Marine, airman is prepared for physical demands of rigorous training in and out of combat. Uniformity and team cohesion. The military relies on teamwork, not individuality. Let me say that again. The military relies on teamwork, not individuality. Standards, grooming, and appearance helps eliminate distractions and foster unity, order, and a sharp identity. Leadership and command presence. Leaders are judged by how they carry themselves. A sharp, confident appearance builds authority globally. Everybody's looking at the U.S. military. Influence among subordinates and peers. Military bearings. A professional appearance supports a soldier's bearing, poise, confidence, and readiness to respond. In part, the military presence and respect for the role. And the last two things, enforcing standards. Following appearance regulation shows a soldier's ability to conform to rules, critical high standards, and states of the environment and accountability. Pride and esprit de corps. Take care of one's personal appearance. How you do one thing is how you do everything. Unit, branch, and country. It boosts morale and inspires others to uphold the same standards. And lastly, you feel better. So the question that I have for you, does this lady represent the United States military? The answer is no. And accountability is everything. I don't give a damn if she's the best soldier on the planet. Ultimately, it comes down to you are representing the biggest branch of service, the U.S. Army, and how you conduct yourself in and out of uniform. You are a soldier, a sailor, an airman, 24/7. I don't give a damn. Listen, we got to get back to the standards, guys. So that's my take on it. I wanted to save mine to the end. But ultimately, at the end of the day, if you look like you're not ready, you're not going to be ready. Okay? And you're showing the world that the U.S. Army allows people to eat chocolate bars in uniform. That means that she's at work and she's taking a break to eat a chocolate bar. whether or not she's in standard or not in standard. That soldier, if she was mine, I would reprimand her. Now, if she has a medical condition, I still would reprimand her. And the reason why I would reprimand her with a medical condition is because it's conduct unbecoming of a soldier. You don't eat chocolate bars in uniform, and when you know beyond a reasonable doubt that you're representing something bigger than yourself, and that's the United States military. All right? Now, some people might disagree with that, but hey, guess what, man? Look, we need to get back to standards and keeping it real. And ultimately, the military, there's one word that comes to mind, and that's discipline. All right? So thank you guys for coming to the panel. Tap the screen, guys. Ladies and gentlemen, we will have other topics. We're going to address the beards next, and we're going to be talking about the VA construction loan and the VA rehab loan and the HUD VAST program. So make sure you hit that notification bell when we go live. I will plan that, and I'll see you guys soon. Salute. And guess what? America, guess what? Everybody can try to be the best, but ultimately we got the best military, and we got to keep it that way. Salute, guys, and I'll see you guys, and thank you guys for your patriotism and support. Peace.